So people-wise, if they're there, it's okay? If we keep all the people...
Just keep them off the red road and keep them on the grass. It should be okay.
Okay.
If get somebody hurt or killed here. So that propeller is like a bomb. You got to treat the propeller just like a bomb because it will kill you. Ready, guys?
And she's so scared that she's frozen. So just staring at him, just more frozen. Okay, and he stands up and takes off his jeans. That's good, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Take a step away from the wall. I'm going to fuck you like an animal.
Sparklers, incense and whole coconuts with machete, plastics, material, oil, fractured glass, shower curtain or something of the like, lanterns and head torches, petrol-soaked cloth, fire extinguisher, fishing nets, containers and boat cargo, one green parrot, monkey mask, white shroud like Mary, animal teeth, hundreds of tea-light candles, hundreds of other candles, something to look like 10 lighters, device to smoke something to put bunches of candles on, sugar syrup for dogging, butterfly bra, paint for neck, fish heads and carcasses, black fabric for construction workers' costume from hard hat and gloves, material bunches to imitate organs, 10 bottles of local whiskey, holes with shirts and pants for at least 20 heads, size and sex unknown, 20 assorted torches, feathers and organic matter, peacock weathers, plus operators, blood as possible. Power candles, blood breathing underwater, large mirror, 40 contact prosthetics for drowning, slitting, syringe, white tube makeup from actor's mouth underwater, sugar syrup, bamboo rafts with pyre and foundation and paint for prostitute costume, pimp costume basket, green towel and stained pillow, wire skeletons, green organic matter for muscles, material bunches to imitate organs, fishing rain machine, containers in boat cargo, shower heads, motorbike tube for underwater bungee, local beers, blood, dirty sheets, blindfold, blunt knife, cake to make the ants come, 400 pink lotus flowers, coconuts, 2-meter square glass cube for actors to swim in, dead dog.
I want to know about this film.
Okay. So, the film is about a young man and a young girl that both come from very difficult lives in Phnom Penh. And because they are both very traumatized, very troubled, and have no work. He has a job, but he loses his job, and he lives in a place that is very violent, where everybody
Have a lot of gangster.
a lot of
Gangster.
gangster. That's this like this, yes. And so when they meet, they want to come together to fall in love, but it's very hard for them because they don't know, in their life they've never had any love. And they start to kill people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, together it's them against the whole world. So by killing people they become closer together, but they don't have a normal relationship like husband and wife. They have a very strange relationship, but still don't quite.
Cut. Okay.
Go sleep.
ចំពោះខ្ញុំមុនដំបូងខ្ញុំបានជួបគាត់ខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថាដូចជាខ្ញុំអត់ដែលបានជួបបរទេសហើយមានអារម្មណ៍ដូចភ័យអហើយខ្ញុំអត់ដឹងថាគាត់មកដើម្បីអីយកខ្ញុំថតរឿងអី
ចំពោះខ្ញុំវិញពេលមិត្តភក្តិខ្ញុំសួរខ្ញុំថាខ្ញុំទៅណាខ្ញុំប្រាប់ថាខ្ញុំមកពីថតរឿងហើយគេសួរថានិយាយពីអីខ្ញុំប្រាប់ថានិយាយពីមនុស្សស្រីម្នាក់ចាញ់បោកគេយកទៅគេចាប់យកទៅលក់ហើយពីចំណែកតួប្រុសវិញដល់ឆក់ប្លន់គេធ្វើស៊ីផឹកធ្វើការងារអីផ្សេងជាដើមហើយនិយាយខ្ញុំនិយាយប្រាប់ពេលចុងក្រោយនោះគឺនិយាយចង់ចាប់ថារឿងនឹងជាការអប់រំ
Yeah, okay, so the film was shot over a 2-year period. We shot for 21 days late 2011 with a crew of 9, and the second shooting block was from January 28 to February 16, 2013, and we had a crew of 17, predominantly Australian crew.
Well, we had, just describe it like how we got it done. Usually Michael and Amiel would jump out with a translator and we'd always shoot the first rehearsal and then just kind of keep looping into delirium till we felt we got it, or till someone couldn't stand up anymore.
It's a very strange, dislocated feeling because the way in which Ruin was made was with such delirium and with such intensity, and I think everyone was forced to work on nothing other than instinct, and I think that preparation came through making sure that we assembled a group of people who were willing and able to come on board for something that they knew from the outset would be utterly chaotic and would be an experience like no other, but would first and foremost be an experience.
Let's go.
My name's Ari Wegner. I'm the cinematographer from... I'll start again. My name's Ari Wegner. I'm the cinematographer of Ruin. I first got a call about the project from Amiel and Michael at the end of 2011, and they basically said, I think you should come to Cambodia because we're going to make a film. We don't really know what it's going to be yet, but we're going and you should come. And that was kind of enough to jump on board. We jumped straight into it as soon as, within a day or so of arriving, camera tests as we were going, seeing what worked and what didn't, paring down our kit to the absolute minimum so we could basically fit all our cast, crew and gear into 2 minivans. We could shoot in 10 minutes. And that was pretty much the way we functioned. Yeah.
Ban chuประเทศให้ខ្លះរៀនអីខ្លះពីរឿងហ្នឹងឬក៏អ្វីខ្លះដែលរៀនសោះពីមុនតែដល់ពេលមកសម្ដែងរឿងរឿងដេកហ្នឹងរឿងដេកយ៉ាងខ្វាន់នេះថតនេះរឿងថតដែរ you know she said it's the first time in her life that been doing, you know, sleeping with strange people and foreigners, and we then kill after that's amazing. That kind like for her it's like, you know, shock.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a heavy night. Like, I want more beer, please. Yeah, of course. I wasn't expecting anything of that. I didn't know I was going to fuck her. I didn't know about the rough sex scene. So he spilled that one on me. And I was a bit uncomfortable.
It looks like a skeleton. And we can break it. And outside it's going to be silicone. Because this one's supposed to be hit on the back. And then the score is going to be come in. That's why it's going to be breakable inside.
Yeah, this is intense. If I'd have known it was so much, I might have been quite scared before I came here today. I kid you not, I've been fucking... Excuse me, can I get one more of these, please?
It's imagine this is before you're fucking, and it's kind of the peak of your sort of ice freak out.
Before what?
Before you fucked, basically. So you're still kind of working yourself up to it, but it'd be great if you are comfortable standing, like a little bit of pacing, sort of speak English, you fucking cunt, that kind of stuff. Is it if you can like suck on her fingers like a reptile, like this, like you're getting off on it while you're getting off. Okay.
Dance, bitch, dance! You're not getting paid for nothing. Dance like a cunt, come on, dance! Don't fuck about, hurry up! Alright, now what?
Ask her if she's had those fingers up anyone else's ass.
We are living in America. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's wunderbar, wunderbar. Coca-Cola, Mickey Mouse, US dollar. This is not a love song. This is not a love song. Yeah.
Check once, check twice. So I'm Kate Laurie, and I was the casting director and production coordinator and 2-time featured extra, or not so featured. I failed to get out of shot. So yeah, I mean, in pre-production I would wake up at 7, meet up with one of our extremely patient translators and tell them, where can I find drug addicts, where would I find a fisherman, and they would take me there and we would just walk around for hours in the sun, looking and talking, and every corner of Phnom Penh being pursued by small children and rabid dogs, just staring at people and trying to fit them, and just trying to find the characters of the film.
Yeah, my world was quite divided between the market and the on-set. The market being this kind of independent solo journey, trying to find things and communicate with people that had no idea of my language. As I said, it's like trying to find a fish that's alive and pointing at a fish, and then they keep killing it and handing it to me, and I'm like, no, alive, that one, the one swimming. And then they kill it again and hand me a dead fish, and I'm like, no, I need it alive.
How many we get? How many people do you want?
Oh, really? How many? 4.
Four ladies, 4 girls. It's renowned as a really gnarly place. These girls would be all going with local guys, local clients who wouldn't be, they wouldn't get paid much and they wouldn't be treated very well.
Everybody.
ចំពោះខ្ញុំគិតថាបើសិនជារ៉ូអ៊ីនមកប្រចាំងរឿងរ៉ូអ៊ីនមកប្រចាំងនៅស្រុកខ្មែរខ្ញុំគិតថាប្រជាជនខ្មែរភាគច្រើនគឺអត់ចូលចិត្តមើលហើយនឹងអត់យល់ពីរឿងហ្នឹងឯងពីព្រោះប្រជាជនខ្មែរគាត់ចូលចិត្តរឿងស្នេហាតួស្អាតស្អាតហើយរឿងប្លែងគាត់អត់ចូលចិត្តមើលរឿង
ព្រោះ រឿងអប់រំវាតកតងនឹងប្រជាជនខ្មែរដែលពិតហើយសកម្មភាពចឹងគេឃើញនឹងសាមគេអត់ចង់មើលបើសំណើវិញកំ pl ែងគេសើចសប្បាយគេធ្វើឲ្យគេសើចសប្បាយ
ដែលអប់រំពីជីវិតពិតរបស់ប្រជាជនរស់នៅសពថ្ងៃនេះទេព្រោះអីនៅស្រុកខ្មែរវាអត់មានអីចម្លែកទេព្រោះវាសឹងតែរាល់ថ្ងៃអញ្ចឹងហី
The funeral kind of infused, being as it was at the beginning of the shoot. It was a very, it was great that everyone got to see that and feel that kind of national mourning, because it's, you know, there's a sense, I suppose, that it's not only mourning for him as a person, but that it is mourning the history of the place as well. People were connecting to it on that level. I felt that, I think, and I think that was something for the crew to locate them very quickly, to give them a sense of. It's hard to describe. I suppose that's something that we were interested in dealing with, but in a very oblique way. We never wanted to kind of have references to the genocide that were very obvious. So there's these kinds of things like the black figures rising out of the water. That's an image that is, you know, very clearly connected to death, and you can make the link to history, but it's not bashing you over the head. But it definitely sort of gives you a sense of the place in the history. Let's get an update, fellas. 2 weeks in. Someone must die, basically.
We're talking about how much it'll cost us to kill both of our drivers. Apparently for $100 we can have 2 drivers killed.
Extra 50 can be slow and painful.
Our cast is starving. They're being intimidated by the local crew. We nearly drowned an elderly man by throwing him off a boat tied up by the hands and feet the other night.
Yeah, that was a misunderstanding.
Something lost in translation. Other than that, things are going quite well.
Would you like to come along for the ride just across the river and hang out with us for 20 minutes?
We just need to get some gear just over there.
Pardon? Oh, we just need to load our gear across the river, and then you can come back straight away.
It's just literally just there.
Yeah, you keep the boat. We just need to get our gear across. Can we ask
Luke,
you can ask this guy. Hey, Mr. Boatman!
Come, business.
I'm trying to get a boat.
How do you live 7 miles down the road from the guy that tortured your father, for example? And these things are going on all over the country. All over the country, people are dealing with this, with the knowledge that the person that executed members of their family lives down the road. And, you know, I mean, that was essentially, I guess, the starting point in terms of idea, in terms of what we were interested in, was to kind of study trauma, in a sense, to study how that unfolds. And so there's two characters, you know, have both endured incredibly traumatic experiences, and in some sense we're watching them trying to navigate toward intimacy, and you know, we end up seeing how difficult that is, I guess.
To distract them, Savannah is going crazy, and she knocks one of the ovens over and sets a tablecloth on fire, and this distracts these guys long enough for them to get away. So that's the basic scene. So we just need to ask someone if they wouldn't mind. You know, it'd mean we'd have to buy all of like one table of food.
And when the fire goes down, okay, check for the flame, yeah, okay. Chop it on.
And what have you hated? What's been the worst day for you? When have you thought, I'm gonna fucking kill these people?
Well, to be honest, I really don't like when you guys say that, okay, this is the last one, and then after that, okay, one more. I feel like you're not supposed to say that.
So we'll stop lying.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of deception on
Yeah.
set, behind the scenes.
For me, Luke was like utterly remarkable, and I think the thing that made him such an amazing translator on set was he had a real compassion and love for Mooney and Malang, the two leads. Like, he had an emotional sense, or his very presence, or his way of being on set was able to kind of convey what we couldn't with language. I mean, he worked so ridiculously hard because he wasn't only translating, you know, for the psychology or motivation of any given scene for the performers. He was like negotiating locations, he was negotiating keeping the cops off our back before we had to get out of a brothel, for example, or he'd be trying to not get into a situation where we would be having to bribe the owner of a fishery to film there for another 20 minutes. So he was doing like 6 to 8 jobs at once. Leah would be asking him a question, Kate would be asking him a question, Ari would be telling him to get someone out of frame while he was still having to somehow attend to Mooney and Malang, our two lead performers, to get them through any given scene. You know, the fact that he lost his shit finally a week before we finished shooting and he walked off set and literally quit the film was no wonder, because he's getting barked at by, you know, 8 or 10 very demanding white people needing him to, you know, and we need to get the scene shot in the next 25 minutes.
Okay, Alem, fast, slow, yeah, good, okay. So, half. Now remember, you are scared, okay? So I want you to constantly, when you're running, looking in the back, okay? No, it's not okay?
So working in a language that you don't speak, you become very attentive to performance as opposed to getting hung up on dialogue, which it makes you realise that that's something that can be a problem in for a director. I think you can get too fixated on dialogue. So to become very immersed in physicality was a really a good thing. I mean, it often meant that we would be at the mercy of the translator in a sense, because we had varying degrees of quality with translators. So you might have one translator where you could do a 10-minute improvised take and they could tell you verbatim what the character said, and another one where it was very tough to kind of work out what had just happened, and you wouldn't know until the rushes got translated exactly what the characters were saying. Is it okay, does anyone mind if we just use the light just to have a look who's here from the casting session, because it's very dark. Okay. It's okay? Okay. So, Chaban. Come on. Yes. Excellent. 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 Yes. Hello. Great. And if I'm right, this man lives here.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, okay.
You want to give him a dinner?
Yes, thank you. Okay, great. And do we know what were those guys' names that we went in the tuk-tuk? There always was the danger of, maybe this is just the wrong thing to do. Maybe this is just a film that shouldn't be made. Maybe the premise of it is fundamentally presumptuous in a way that cannot be overcome, But then I guess the flip side of that is that you have to trust that your sincerity will get you through that, and that you keep kind of checking your motivations and what it is that you're trying to do, and try and counter those issues both with sincerity and experimentation and if we'd got to a point where we decided that it was all too problematic, then we would have been willing to throw the film away, or to otherwise say, yes, we know this is flawed, this is problematic, but surely it's better to try and address that issue than not do anything.
Shut it down!
Tiếng mơ vơ nhòa nhầm rì rì